This is Share the Vision, presented by the Resource Center, a discussion of the programs and services of the Resource Center and about issues related to individuals with disabilities. Today, we joyously preview the 22nd annual Laurel Run. We speak to you from Kwik Red Apple on North Main Street, opposite Moonbrook Country Club, officially identified as Kwik Red Apple 395. And joining me on Share the Vision will be many people today, but we begin with Steve Watterson, who has a key role in the presentation of Laurel Run each year, and he is also the Community Relations Director at the Resource Center. Steve, thanks for organizing this big show today.
I didn't do much to organize it. I got to give Kwik the credit for doing that, but thanks for taking time out of your schedule to come up here and tape the show.
Well, this is a very exciting moment to look forward to Laurel Run every year, and a very poignant one this year. The first Laurel Run that will occur without Laurel.
Absolutely. Yes, Laurel passed away last November, so this will be the first one we've had without our event's namesake there, but she'll be with us in spirit.
We have many members of the Laurel Run Committee here and representatives of Kwik Red Apple who will be on in just a moment, but it is important to say first hello to Wayne and Elaine Hotelling, whose daughter, Laurel, whose name is on this run, and to talk to them about their feelings as we are now just a few weeks away from this year's Laurel Run. That beeping you hear is a truck backing up. This just proves, folks, that we are right in front of Kwik Red Apple. So that, Wayne, this is the comic relief, I guess, to begin this program today.
Dennis, thank you so much. This is going to be the first memorial Laurel Run and Walk. It'll be the 22nd run that we have had since we've established it, Elaine and myself. And we can't thank our sponsors enough for what they have done for us in the past years. And we're so glad that we have them back with us this year. And without people and sponsors like Kwik, this would not be a reality. It's something that you have to have support for and from. And I hope that this year we can have the biggest and the best that we have ever had so far. Our daughter Laurel will not be with us in person, but as Steve said, the spirit and the roots of Laurel Run have been Laurel and all of her friends at the Resource Center, anybody with a disability, mental or physical. And we're very glad that we can continue this, and we plan to keep it going in the future.
One thing that I'm going to do is lift the embargo on tears. All of us who knew Laurel know how significant this was for her, and what a transition this will be to put Laurel Run on for the 22nd time. But Wayne, we ought to do some serious work here otherwise in terms of the planning for Laurel Run, the 20th and 21st, what will happen that Friday, what will happen that Saturday in July, so we get all of the specifics out correctly.
On the Friday before Laurel Run itself takes place on the 20th, we have a relay which includes all of the young people from the high schools in Chautauqua County, the majority of them. And they have been carrying the Laurel Run flag from Jamestown to Dunkirk to show the continuity of the run itself throughout the county. Laurel was not just a well-known person in Silver Creek. She was well-known countywide. And then the first couple of years we had contacts with the state in which we went across the state and we had relays, we had runs and so forth. But she was one of the most well-known people, I think, in Chautauqua County. And we will miss her, but we will continue with her spirit. We will continue with what we had established to begin with.
Day one, the relay from Jamestown to Dunkirk. What happens on day two, that Saturday, July 21st in Silver Creek?
All right, day two, we start out with the Laurel Memorial Run and Walk. The walk will take place at 8:30. The run to follow, and then we have two kids' runs for ages 0 to 4. Bring the strollers, bring the little ones, and then 5 to 6, and then get out of the way when they're running because they're out for blood, and they really move out. And then after that, it used to be called Laurel's Lap, but now it's called Laurel's Legacy, and this is to remember her. And this is where anybody with a disability can take a lap around the track. And this is where you have individuals that are pushing their grandmothers in wheelchairs, and you wonder sometime if they're going to make it around the turns. And you've got people who have many major disabilities who do it, and sometimes it's been as much as 45 minutes for them to walk around. But they make it, and they do it, and they take such pride in it.
Wayne, I want to come over to Elaine for just a moment. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm fine, thank you.
Anything you want to add in terms of your sense, your emotion, as we prepare for this Laurel Run in a new perspective and a new phase this year? And any details you want to add to what Wayne put out there?
Well, I think he's detailed this pretty well here already, so that there's not that much to add to it. We have a lot of people asking if we were going to continue, and yes, we are, because this will be a memorial run. And I think people want to come out and support us in that way, because we had so many friends that have commented and said, let them know if there's anything they could do. And even now to get Kwik back on the running too with us, and it's just everything just keeps going along and enlarging. And I know that you have someone patiently waiting here to talk.
Brian Samuelson, one of the very loyal and enthusiastic members of the Laurel Run Committee, has come right up to the microphone. Hi, my friend. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Now, are you ready to go for Laurel Run this year?
I am doing I do it in the memory of the walkathon and Laurel this year.
So you're ready to do this in memory of Laurel, too. And you knew her well?
I know there's since the program started.
So for 22 years. Now, I know from past Laurel Runs that you're a very enthusiastic fundraiser for this event. What have you been doing this year to try and generate money and enthusiasm?
Well, I just told Steve this morning, I have 25 stores interested in advertising for us.
Really? And you contacted every one of them yourself?
I had different people to contact them, and they told me, I told them, and they told them, and that's it. That's the way that went.
And you'll be there, of course, at Laurel Run?
I'm doing the kickoff of the walkabout in memory of Laurel this year.
Well, we'll see you there again, Brian. Kwik is where we are, and Steve Watterson, you are welcoming Kwik back into the Laurel Run family this year with a special new kind of fundraiser, and I just want you to set the stage so I can bring Frank Bartella to the microphone.
Well, this is something we've done with Kwik for a number of years. We think it's 15th or 16th year, but they make it possible for customers to come in and place a donation, and they'll get a special card that they can write their name on that basically says, I support people with disabilities and I support the hoteling family, and those cards can be put up on the walls and windows of the various Kwik Red Apple locations in Chautauqua and Erie counties in New York and Warren County, PA. And it's a great way for us to spread the word about Laurel Run and the mission of the event.
Frank Bartella is the regional manager for Kwik Red Apple. He joins me on the air in front of store number 395 right now. It's nice to be out here and to have the opportunity to speak with you once again.
Well, I thank you for that, and I would also like to say that even though Laurel isn't with us this year, she'll be in our hearts for the rest of our lives. We have participated, as Steve had said, for roughly 14 or 15 years, and I was quite shocked to hear the news that Laurel had passed, but we will continue on her legacy, and we will continue on to support all people with disabilities.
You are selling cards for $1 at Kwik beginning as this program hits the air right up to the time of Laurel Run. Tell me a little bit about your effort and the support that you are giving to this event.
Well, what we normally do is ask our customers for a $1 donation, and then they are allowed to write their name on the, I believe we're using triangles this year, and we're going to post those up in the stores for everyone else to see. And we've promoted it well in years past, and we anticipate a very good response from our customers this year.
How many different locations will this be happening at, Frank?
I believe we usually do roughly about 18 or 19 locations over the years.
This has the potential then to be a significant fundraiser for Laurel Run.
We've had very much success with this program in the past years, yes.
You have assembled a number of your managers and staff members, and I want you to introduce the young lady who's going to join us next year.
The young lady that's going to join us next and speak is Becky DeTanto. She's a district manager. She oversees all the way from Wellsville, New York, through Olean into the Jamestown market, and as well as Dunkirk, Fredonia, and Irving.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for taking a few minutes to come here today and speak to us about Laurel Run and the community connection that Kwikfill has to this event. It's very nice to know that you are part of it again.
It is very exciting to be part of it again. I think everyone's going to work a little bit harder this year since we didn't do it last year. Hopefully we can double up what we could have done last year and do this year. We like to stick jugs or cans or bottles on the counter and let people donate their change, and then the store will purchase a triangle or whatever we have and put up on the wall to represent all the money that we've gathered in change throughout the day that people have dropped in, and that increases what we can get and donate to this cause.
Well, that's very sweet of you and kind of a secondary reinforcement to the selling of the triangles to people who come to the cash register. And as you mentioned, it kind of slipped through the cracks last year. So you are really back and enthusiastic about doing this full force this year.
Absolutely. I think everyone's going to be excited about it.
And you know, we appreciate, Frank and Becky, the connection that you have to our community and your interest in our community and things like Laurel Run, because this is really a business of our own. We feel, and I know you feel very closely connected, Frank shaking his head up and down there, to the communities in which you do business.
Yes, and we'll also be handing out the instructions on how to get a sponsor and participate in the Laurel Run, and let some of the employees or customers that want to get involved and participate on the day that this happens, they can also do that.
We have a trio of other Kwikfill employees who are going to be on the air here right now. Hello.
Hi.
What is your name?
I am Kim. I am the manager of Kwikfill Location 312.
And where is 312?
It's on Forest Avenue in Jamestown, New York.
And Kim, what's your last name?
Webb.
And you are also looking forward to helping Laurel Run this year?
Oh, absolutely. Every year that I've been working for the company, we do provide the cans, as Becky stated, as well as garnering the donations from the customers in our area. And each year we strive to do better.
We are all creatures of habit, and I bet over the years you get to know the people who come to your location, and they're kind of repeat business, a lot of repeat business every day or several times a week, so you really develop a relationship with them.
Oh, absolutely, and I have several employees that know our customers very well as well, and we make it kind of a little competition between our employees and our customers, trying to get as many donations as we possibly can.
And then you're competing against the other locations as well.
Yeah, in spirit anyway. I mean,
Thank you very much, Kim. Very nice to meet you. Hello.
Hi.
Now your tag there says Katie.
Yes.
And you're a manager.
Yes, I am.
What is your last name, Katie?
Rodriguez.
And Katie, what store do you manage?
I manage this store at 395, right on North Main.
395. Well, I've got to tell you, managing this place where we are broadcasting from today is a lot of work, just because of the amount of volume of just the people that have come through here in the 15 minutes or so that we've been on the air here, in and out the door, at the gas pumps. You work hard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my entire crew does. We definitely see quite a few different faces every day and look forward to seeing new people coming in all the time.
Well, and you've got a lot of wall space here, so you could really fill up Kwikfill 395 with a lot of those triangles.
Oh, absolutely we could. We're hoping to sell quite a few of them this year, so we're excited about it.
And is it kind of easy for you, do you think, or your employees to ask for that dollar to support Laurel Run?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, all the employees get very involved in it. They really enjoy helping out, and customers have a very positive response to it as well. Even if they can't donate the dollar, they'll throw some change in the can, and then they come back the next day, and maybe they'll buy a dollar, for a triangle that day. So,
Katie, thank you very much. Absolutely. Just going to change places with you and speak to a woman who's holding one of the Laurel Run flags here now. Hello.
Hello.
And you are Melissa. Melissa Fardink, and you're the manager of which Kwikfill?
The Foot Avenue Kwikfill.
And how do you feel about getting in line with all of these other Kwikfills and maybe kind of competing against them to get some of those triangles up on the wall?
We'll do our best. I met Laurel probably about 10 years ago. She came around to all the Kwikfills, and I met her, and it's nice to know somebody behind the face. And I have 2 children with disabilities also, so to help the Resource Center, they've helped my children.
So you have a connection to this in a number of ways.
Yes.
Well, and you noted the emotion that Wayne and I started this program with, because it is a kind of a new chapter in the history of Laurel Run this year that is going to be different for all of us.
Yes. To not have her here, but she'll be here in spirit.
Well, thank you for participating, and thank you for talking on the air here today.
You're welcome.
Did we leave anything out, Frank, in this segment of the show?
No, I think we covered it all, and we'll get behind it as we do every year. And I'm sure our staff will at all the Kwikfills involved.
Well, and what I said here about 395 North Main Street opposite Moonbrook in Jamestown is true for all of your locations. It gets very active, very busy at this time of the year, and you have a lot of hardworking staff members, and their work and contribution to your success and to the success of Laurel Run needs to be recognized.
I believe that's all true. We are extremely busy and coming into one of our busiest quarters of the year, the travel season and families taking their children on vacations, etc.
Frank Bartella, other members of the Kwikfill staff and organization, thank you for spending this time. I'm going to come back between Brian Samuelson and Steve Watterson for a moment, just for a comment for Steve. Those who are listening to this program, Mr. Watterson, may want to come to a better understanding of how Laurel Run is a fundraiser and what the money raised from this event, and things like the sale of the triangles here at Kwikfill and other things that you do to generate dollars. How is that money used?
Well, first of all, the money that comes in initially goes to Filling the Gap Incorporated, which is an organization that works with the Resource Center to improve the lives of people with disabilities in Chautauqua County. And then that money is transferred over to our Laurel Run Fund at the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation. And eventually those dollars are used to support employment and work training opportunities for people with disabilities at TRC. So that's how the money's used. So you're helping to provide work or work training for folks with disabilities who want to have employment.
This will take me right back to Elaine Hotelling. Your daughter, Laurel, was really passionate about her work that she did at the Work Center in northern Chautauqua County.
Yes, that was a big thing in her life, was to get up in the morning, go to work, come home with that paycheck, just to prove that she was on an equal with everybody else. So she wasn't going to miss that in any way. And so if anything that we can do now to help the others that are still working there, that's our aim, to use this money to help better their conditions.
We have done Laurel Run programs every year that there's been a Laurel Run, and other times as well we have talked about your daughter, but a little part of the story deserves to be repeated, I think, every time we do this, and that is she had Down syndrome. Right. It was your effort, along with your husband Wayne, to include her in as much of the life of your family and your community and your church and everything as you could. And she, your daughter Laurel, ended up being a very effective worker at the Work Center, contributor to the community, even though she had Down syndrome.
Wayne and I were just talking about that as we were driving down, how we felt that in her life that she really was an example, much more so than a lot of us able-bodied people who are selfish in our ways and that type of thing. She was always outgoing. She was always smiling. She was always trying to make a better world for everybody else. So.
Well, and I think some of the long-term education for the rest of us in the general community that you and Wayne and Laurel accomplished was to give us new perspective on the potential for persons with disabilities and the potential for us in our own lives, in that we sometimes get hung up on those things that we can't do or can't do as well as somebody else can. And the story of Laurel kind of blows up all of our misconceptions about potential.
Right. And as we've said before, really the biggest disadvantage for anybody is your attitude. If you feel like you can't do something, or if you don't like somebody, that is going to affect how you live your life. And if you feel worthy and able, you'll do your best. And I think she did.
Jane Young is also a passionate member of the Laurel Run Committee, famed photographer as well as employee at the Resource Center. Hello, Jane.
Good morning, Dennis.
Jane, your feeling as we approach Laurel Run 22?
Well, I can tell you that the consumers in the Future Strivers room at the Michael J. Raymond Center are hard at work making the medals for the race, and I have just come from there and, of course, took some pictures of what they have done so that I could show Wayne and Elaine what the finished product would look like. And they are so much a part of this race, the memorial race for this year, and are proud to show them what they do each year, and especially this year.
The Future Strivers make these medallions every year.
Every year.
This year's, describe them because we can't show your pictures on the air here, but tell me what you saw today, Jane Young.
It started as a piece of tree. It was birchwood. And each one is a slice of a tree, and it will have a picture of Laurel on each one. There is a participation, first, second, and third. And they all have a different picture of Laurel on it this year.
You have been a long-term member of the Laurel Run Committee. Talk to me about the energy, the work that goes on in the background off-season to make this happen, Jane.
Many more people have work to do than what I am part of. I am the support more, of course, with my photography. The day of the relay, I will follow those that exert all the energy of running. I just get in and out of my car and follow them and take pictures that day all the way to Dunkirk. The weather doesn't bother me. It's all the runners. I'm just there to support them. And it does appear that these photos throughout the years have come in handy because Wayne and Elaine have leafed through them all.
Thank you for your work. Brian is back at the microphone here. Is there more you want to say, Brian Samuelson?
Yes, I think the many years we've been doing this here of the walk-a-thon, and I, like I said, I doing it very her, and I was doing it many more years of her.
I hope that's true. Back to Steve Watterson for a moment. Steve, the opportunity for people in the community, runners, walkers, to sign up is really for Saturday.
Correct.
Although the public is invited to watch it start, the relay start around 8:15, 8:30 on Friday morning, the 20th, in Jamestown at the Michael J. Raymond Center.
Right. We have a kickoff breakfast there at 75 Jones and Gifford Avenue, and then we walk as a group up the street and wave goodbye to the first set of relay runners. So come to that kickoff breakfast if you can. It's free. We're going to feed you. And then up in Dunkirk from noon to 2, the city of Dunkirk always holds a victory celebration for us in Washington Park. Again, they feed us, so come on out and join us as we welcome in the last set of relay runners. For the events on Saturday, the registration fee is $20 until July 17th. Now, for $20, you're getting the 2018 Laurel Run T-shirt, which has a fantastic logo on the front and then a full-color picture of Laurel on the back. You're going to get a goodie bag. You're going to get the commemorative medal with Laurel's picture on it. If you finish in first, second, or third place in your age group in either the walk or the run, you're going to get another medal with Laurel's name on it. We're going to feed you in Silver Creek, and we're going to provide music and lots of other things. So you really a lot of value for your dollar. We also have team competitions in both the 5K walk and the 8K run. So if some businesses, some of their employees want to come up and do that, we do give out awards for the 3 fastest teams based on your 4 fastest finishers. So if you want to put a team together, make sure that you got at least 4 people. But the team competition is always exciting too. But really, it's a great event up in Silver Creek. I know it's a long drive for people from Jamestown. It's about 45 minutes, but it's really worth it. And to see, as we alluded to before, the determination on the faces of people with disabilities as they're doing the Laurel's Lap toward the end of the morning, about 10:30 or so, that is what Laurel run is all about, and that is what makes the whole event possible. And you are guaranteed to come up there and watch that. You will either laugh or cry or maybe do a little bit of both.
All the information that you just gave us on the air here can be found for people to look at the Laurel Run website.
Yes, that's www.laurel-run.com. You also can call the Resource Center at 483-2344, and they'll patch you through to me. We can email you or fax you or mail you an entry form if you don't want to register online. But yes, go to laurel-run.com, and you can find out most of what you want to know about the 2018 Laurel Memorial Run and Walk.
And I just want to add one footnote to the 8K run, and that is this is a run that challenges runners. This is a run that you've told me, and Wayne has told me in the past, that runners really have to put themselves into fully.
Well, it's a race that takes place at 9 o'clock in the middle of July, 9 o'clock in the morning, middle of July, and the way that Silver Creek is set up, 9 o'clock in the middle of July, that sun is just starting to come down. So you've got the heat, it's usually humid, and there are a couple of tough little hills in that race. So as Wayne likes to point out, for people that complain about the run, folks who have disabilities deal with their challenges every day of their life. So for the folks that are going to do the 8K run, Wayne feels that you can come out there and tough it out for 35, 40, 45 minutes and then go back to your life. But, putting in the effort to go and take on the Laurel Run 8K Challenge is a worthy tribute to the people with disabilities that this event supports.
Thank you very much for all of that background information. I'm just going to come back here to close today's program with Wayne and Elaine. Wayne, thank you for the opportunity to talk to you about this and to begin to move into the next phase with the Laurel Run Memorial this year and all the promise that this holds for the future in a new way.
Well, we've turned a page, and now it's something somewhat different, but maybe even better, because now we're looking into the future, and we hope that there will be more strides made by our society in promoting and helping people with disabilities. It's one of the things that we need to do more for them, and we found out that this is something that we had to do when Laurel was born. We had to advocate, and we need more advocates now to continue the journey that we're on.
Elaine, final word from you. Thank you again.
All right. We have some good raffle things coming up. Keep that in mind and watch for our news. We have some great new things this year.
That will be right there at the...
They'll be there, and I think they'll be on our Laurel Run site.
Okay.
So that Steve already gave you the address for that. Got to get our commercial in,
That's fine. That's fine. Well, from Quickfill Red Apple 395, North Main Street in Jamestown, thank you all for sharing the vision today.